Welcome back to the Pen and Ink Well. I can tell you now from the start that this is probably going to be interesting. For the first time ever, you will see Caris is with me. Say hi.
Hi.
And for the first time as well, I've been daft enough to agree to have my brother behind the camera, and over to my left, you can't see them, whether you'll hear them throughout this, I don't know, is my son and my nephew. So they're all watching on. It's a bit of a Christmas sort of family thing, and we're having a bit of a Christmas Eve sort of get together, sort of a present exchange, but we really wanted to get this video done for you guys. So it's Christmas Eve.
Yes.
It's a perfect time to introduce Caris to everybody. She's always behind the camera, so really wanted to get her in front of the camera. And we really wanted to start off by saying thank you so much. There's a lot of thank yous that I've got to say to people, really. It's just been such a, such a very different second half of the year for us. Our subscribers have sort of trebled. We're getting closer to that 1,000 subscribers. So, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate all the kind comments that are left, all the helpful comments, all the support we've had through YouTube and through Instagram, and it really helps. And we really, really enjoy doing this for you, which is, absolutely brilliant for us. So we wanted to do this as a Christmas message to say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays to everybody. Wherever you are. I know I have a lot of followers in the States, and I really appreciate that. A lot of followers here in the UK and across the world, and that's the diverse thing about YouTube, I suppose. It gets out to everybody. And we were just going to make this a Christmas message. However, we had a bit of a we had a good day yesterday.
Yes.
We were lucky enough. A lot of you would have seen the pictures that have been out there, and TWSBI announced that they were bringing a VAC Mini out, and I didn't think at all that I would be lucky enough to get hold of one in this timescale. I saw a picture, quickly got in contact with Ross at Pure Pens, who at that time had placed the order and had paid for the order, and on, what day are we today? Thursday, so on Tuesday evening we had a phone call, well, not a phone call, I had a message to say that they'd just arrived. So yesterday, Caris and I quickly hot-footed it down. We are very fortunate to not live very far from them at all. Maybe a bit of a pain for them, but we went down there and we picked it up, and we are uber excited about it, and we really wanted to get this video out. So Caris, if you can just grab those, we'll give you, well, they're just in the boxes really at the moment. We've posted some photos on Instagram, you've seen them already, but we really wanted to get this out for Christmas. So what have we got here, Caris?
The TWSBI VAC Mini.
So this is the VAC Mini. The VAC 700 came out, I think a couple of years ago now. There we are. And I did have one. I also sold it on because I wasn't as impressed with it. But I had a very early one. The nib wasn't good. It was running very, very dry. And the difference in the grip section was just too much for me. So I very quickly sold that on, despite the fact that I love the colour of it. But really wanted to get hold of this one because I've loved the mini series. And then we've got the bottle, the filler bottle. I didn't have one of those with the VAC 700, so really wanted to have a look at these. So glad that, clever, yeah?
It's very clever.
Really clever, and save so much mess. I haven't got any ink on my fingers for the first time in goodness knows how long, which has been brilliant. Oh, and you've noticed we've had hairdos? Well, you wouldn't notice, Caris, because you've never seen it before. But Caris's hair wasn't like this yesterday. My hair wasn't like this last week, as you've seen. So I've got blue, we're going a bit festive. Why not? I've got nails done. We've both had nails done. Very exciting. So, oh, the boys. My brother's pointing out the boys have had their hair. Come and say hello, boys. Come and quickly. Come and say hello. This is Ellis, this is my little boy, still in his dressing gown, despite the fact that it's past lunchtime. And this is Lucas, my nephew. Both had haircuts. Brilliant. Off you go then, boys. It is nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And we haven't got long to do this because we're going to watch Star Wars this afternoon.
Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely can't wait. And our family tradition, goodness knows why, where do we go, Caris, on Christmas Eve?
We go to McDonald's.
McDonald's. Every Christmas Eve we go to McDonald's. I don't know when it started or how it started, but it's become a bit of a tradition. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble on much longer because I want to turn the camera around anyway. so we can have a look at these in closer detail. However, just again, thank you so much for all the support you've given us over the years. Well, the last year really, and we really do appreciate it, and I hope that over 2016 it will grow even more. So we're going to turn the camera around very shortly. We're going to say goodbye for now, and in 2 seconds we'll see you again and we'll have a look in closer detail. So bye!
Bye!
So welcome back. This will be calmer, they've gone now, so this will be a calmer video to do. So this is what we've got. We've got the TWSBI VAC Mini. So I've got a couple of boxes here, the TWSBI VAC Mini and then the VAC 20A, which is the ink filler inkwell. So we've got a pen and an inkwell. How apt is that for us? And I've got some ink, so I'm going to show you as well how this all works together. So let's have a look at the pen first, and we'll just move these out of the way. So this is how the VAC arrives, very similar to most, you know, TWSBI boxes. So it opens up, we've got this sort of spongy light cover, and then we've got the instructions which shows you how to fill the pen as well. I love their animations actually, it's really quite handy. And then here we have it in here. So if we just take that out, get the box out of the way. So this is the TWSBI VAC Mini. You see there in the box. Nice box, plastic casing, sort of gone back to where the, you know, the 580s, the same sort of box as the 580 came in and what have you. So that opens up like that. So I can get a little closer in here. It's a bit better. And then it's sort of cased in these tiny little holders here. And I'll take that out. I have already filled it once, so that's why it's got a little bit of sort of residue in there already. So this is what we're looking at here. It's lovely. Do you know what? I haven't actually measured the length of it. I don't know if we've got a ruler handy. Yeah, we have. Let's have a look at measure the length of this. So we're looking at about 125 millimeters long with it capped here. We'll go through it and then I'll do the rest of the measurements then. So demonstrator barrel, clear through demonstrator barrel. Twist end which operates this vacuum filler system that we'll show you now very shortly. The clip cap, very similar to all the other TWSBI pens that we've seen, is same cap that was on the Mini, the TWSBI Mini, and the 580, the 540, the 530. TWSBI logo on the top there, pretty colour. And then it's got this sort of cone, it narrows down at the end here, this cone-like top. And the reason being because this is untwists then to operate this plunger system that you've got here for the VAC. I better take the lid off that. Close that back up. So you see the twist cap, which I really like. I always prefer a twist cap. So we've got a rhodium plated detail around here, which is nice. Again, matched with the cap here, which states TWSBI around it, and then it says VAC Mini Taiwan on there. And for those of you that had the VAC 700, the bigger version of this, you'll have noticed that what happens is around the threads here, there was quite a big, quite a deep, you'll even notice it on here, there's quite a difference in the width of this, because this barrel is 13 millimeters wide. This is 10 millimeters wide, and it's quite a sort of step down into there. But on the larger one, on the 700, that was sort of this long really. It was a really lengthy grip section and quite narrow, and it really sort of, you noticed it. I have to say, even with this, you have to put your fingers, for me, my fingers have to rest on the threads, but it really doesn't bother me actually. I'm surprised it doesn't bother me. So we've got a nice rhodium plating in the inside there, which makes it look that bit different and that bit nicer. And then the TWSBI nib. So this is a fine nib. I wanted to go with something a little broader, so I'm easing my way in from an extra fine, so this is a fine nib. And then, like the Mini, the normal Mini, the cap twists on the end. It's designed to be posted. So once that's posted, we're looking at 148 millimeters long. As I said, it is designed to be posted, and it fit because those threads are there for it to be posted, and it becomes a nice regular size pen. It's not overbalanced, it's not heavy. Weight wise, it's 27 grams with the cap on, and while I weighed it, sorry, while it was full of ink, so that includes the ink, and it's 16 grams without the cap. So despite the fact that the cap is 11 grams of it, is a third of the weight of it almost, it does not feel top heavy. So let's have a look at how this sort of feels. It feels good. Obviously it's new. There have been cracking issues with TWSBI before, but I haven't had any cracking issues with any of mine for a long time. I haven't had any problems whatsoever. I've got a 580 which I adore, and this one, in the 24 hours that I've had it, not even that yet, I've been really impressed with it. So let's show you how this operates then, shall we? So I'm going to put that down here. And I'm going to open this box up for you. So this is the Inkwell, slightly smaller version than the one that came with the for the 700. And all this, and actually you can use both, because what they've done is placed an adapter in here. So if you took that out, you'd be able to put the other one in there, so you could use it for both. So they come in a variety of colours. This one obviously is green, as you can see. They come in red, I think I saw an orange, I think there's a blue. And I was really keen to try this, and I'm so glad I did. So let me show you how this works. Because I did see somebody on an Instagram video yesterday try filling one of these from a sort of overfilled small mini bottle, and it makes a mess when you're talking of vac filling. So this is Diamine Soft Mint. I'm just going to decant some of this into that Inkwell and move this out of the way. Thought we'd go with something that was a little bit green for festive purposes and to match the top of the bottle. So we've got a bottle of ink, essentially, and then we need to take the cap off, and we need to unscrew this end. And once this is unscrewed, we need to pull the plunger out. If we don't pull the plunger out, we're just going to sort of trap air. So we take this cap off, and it literally, there's threads in there, and that twists in. So that is tight. That's absolutely tight in there now. You can turn it upside down, and it is completely airtight. And then literally, the best way for you to see this, turn this upside down while you're doing this. Just want to get the right, and I'm going the wrong way. I'll zoom out a little bit here so you'll see it. Turn this upside down, and you just push that in. And see how the ink is filling there? I tend to do it twice, pull it back out, and it's full. That pen is now full of ink to capacity. You take that out, and all you've got, and this is what impresses me, because you just say when you fill in pens that you have to submerge the nib in it, and it makes a mess everywhere. But that's all the ink that's left on that nib. So I just get a tissue, wipe the excess ink off, and there you have it. A pen that's full of ink. And then just twist this back up at the end, and it's done. Because one thing I recall from the 700 is that it had this, just put that cap on there in case there are any accidents. The one thing that I recall from the 700 was that there was there's an airtight feature in there, so that if you're travelling, this little part here, if you take the pen apart, there's an extra seal in here, so it just utilises this bit of ink here, so it would run dry, and it would run dry fairly quickly with the 700. I know they changed nib suppliers at the end and they got much better, but I had an early one and then I never went back to it, so you had to loosen this end bit to keep it running. I
used this for my journaling last night, and I wrote probably about 4 or 5 pages on A5 paper. And I've got very particularly small handwriting, so there was a lot of writing in there, and it didn't dry out, and I didn't have to loosen it at all. It was just with that sort of one use. But if you were sort of going to use it, you just literally do that, which will open up that little bit there, which will allow the ink to flow more freely through it. But with that closed, it seals that up. So if you're travelling and you're on maybe on an aeroplane or anything like that, you're less likely to have any spillage issues and any leaking or anything, because actually the only thing that can come out is the ink from here up, which is, you know, a really good idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a very quick writing sample for you so you can see how this writes. And essentially, there's no wastage on this, because all I'll do now once I finish this video is pour this back into there, wash it out, and it washes out very, very easily. And you could just use it for any ink whatsoever, so there's no wasting anything. So let's have a look. Let's get in a little bit closer. So we've got Roger dot pad, as always. So this is the TWSBI VAC Mini. This is a fine nib, and this is Diamine Soft Mint. It's quickly become one of my favourite inks at the moment. It's a nice write. It's a very, very smooth writing experience, I have to admit. I haven't had, look at that, there hasn't been any hard starts, there hasn't been any continuity issues, there's been no skipping involved with it. And I know I'm about to say this on camera, which is probably a big thing for me, but I actually prefer this to the extra fine nib, which bizarrely I am starting to appreciate something that is slightly broader, because you do get a smoother writing experience with it. And it's still not a huge writing line, because you have a look at that, even though this is a fine rather than the extra fine, it's not really broad at all. So I suppose it's wetness, it's just a good constant flow. It lays down a consistent amount of ink, as I sort of said. That's a few seconds. There isn't, you know, it doesn't gush by any stretch of the imagination, but it also doesn't feel like you're pulling behind or dragging something that doesn't have enough ink flow to it. One of the main advantages of this is the sheer amount of ink that this pen holds. You could probably write with this endlessly for a long, long time before this will run out. And also it's so easy to decant back in, you know, anyway, if you wanted to change it up and you don't use that much ink. But a really good, nice size to put in a bag, but also they're very comfortable to use for a long writing period as well. So I suppose there is nothing more for us to say other than Merry Christmas. Please subscribe to our channel, leave us some comments. You've met Caris now, but she didn't say an awful lot, but maybe we'll get her to do a review shortly. We've just picked up 2 of the pilot, well, they call them the MR over here in the UK. In America you'd know them better as the Metropolitan Pops. They are an MR over here, and we've got one each. Oh, just let the cat out of the bag there. Caris isn't having it until tomorrow. And maybe we can give both of our opinions on video of what we think of our pens there, and give you, you know, I suppose a different range of sort of opinions really between somebody Caris's generation and mine, and how we use them differently, I suppose. But this has been the VAC Mini. Love it, love it. Thank you very much to Ross and his team at Pure Pens for loaning this to me. I think it will find its way into my collection. Again, won't tell my husband that bit. But I love it. Hopefully there'll be some Christmas money so I can get it. And if it was me, well, it is me in this case, are going to be getting this inkwell as well. It's definitely worth having hand in hand. It makes a big difference, makes that filling experience so simple, makes it clean and effortless. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays everybody. If we don't see you between now and the new year, have a good and safe new year, and we'll see you in 2016. Bye.